Good morning. Welcome to SIMS HOMESTEAD. Our meat birds came in. Just got a notice from the post office, so I'm getting ready to go pick them up. And thought we'd bring you along and let's see how we're going to get these things set up in the shed. We come up with several ideas. So we usually put them in a plastic tote, but these are a few more and we want to give them a little room. So we got a utility trailer that we thought about putting in the shed. We're going to see how that works out, and hopefully it'll work out pretty good. Good morning, Dixie. How you doing, baby? This is the town we live in, or not, we don't really live in. The closest town to us, we live out in the country. But this is Bunnell, Florida, small town, probably about 10 miles from the beach, 8 miles to Palm Coast, north of Jacksonville and south of Jacksonville and north of Daytona. So here we are at the post office in Bunnell, Florida. Well, just went in and picked them up, and here they are in the back of the truck, getting ready to take them home. This here's them, come in a little small box. They all look like they're doing well, so just take them home. Well, we got the chicks home safe and sound. We've got their place ready, a little brooding bin. We usually put them in a tote. You know, if you don't have that many, a good sized tote is great to put them in. But this time we got 15 birds, and so we wanted to give them a little room. I try to think of things I have around the homestead to use instead of running out and buying something. And so I come up with the idea of putting this utility trailer in here, and looks like it's going to work out pretty well. So here's the baby chicks. So an important thing when you get them home, you pick them up from the post office, you want to get them home, of course. As soon as you hear that they're there, you want to go and get them as soon as possible. And get them under some heat lamps. And one of the first things you want to do when you get them home is you want to take each one out and have a look at him, look like he's okay. Then put your thumb over his head and just gently dip his beak into the water, so they get a little drink of water and they know where the water is. It's very important that you do that. And another tip that unfortunately we had to learn the hard way is you want to make sure that your water is warm, at least room temperature, if not maybe a little warmer. And if the water's cold, out of the cold, and see, one of them's already going for the water. You see that? Huh, that's good. But if the water's cold, it'll lower their body temperature because they're so small. And they'll just, they're very acceptable to cold. And of course, our first chicks, we didn't know that, so we lost a couple. But it's like, you're getting into homesteading, there's a lot of things to learn, and don't just get in there and, do it. It's the way you learn. And if you're even considering getting into homesteading or thinking about it, the natural first progression, of course, you gotta have a little piece of land. I mean, I don't guess you have to. You could rent a place, but you want to get I would highly suggest starting out with some chickens. You can order a minimum of 6 chickens. It's about the lowest number I've seen you've been able to, or maybe it's 10, I'm not sure. It was something like that. And get started with some chickens, or maybe just get you a couple laying hens, and build you a small coop. But chickens, they're great. They're great to get started in homesteading. And these little fellas seem to be really, really healthy. So that's good. So hopefully we won't lose any. But they're baby chicks, so you can kind of expect to sometimes lose a few, 1 or 2 maybe. Depending on how many you got, of course. I'm hoping we don't lose any, of course, but let's see, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Looks like they sent us 16. They usually send you 1 or 2 extra. And another thing I would recommend, of course you got to have a heat lamp. And we got, it's a pretty nice heat lamp. We've got different kinds. We got the kinds that clamp and it kind of hangs down. And but your feeder your feeders, I mounted, you know, when they start getting a little bigger, they can turn things over and stuff. So I mounted the little cheap plastic water and feeder to a wooden block to keep them from turning them over, and it works. It seems to work pretty well, and it also helps to keep them from, you know, defecating in their food and water. It keeps the water and food a lot cleaner. They really look like they're doing good. The other tip I was going to show you was drill a hole in the top of your bottle, about a 3/4 inch hole, and get a funnel and cut it off so it's the hole's a little bit smaller than that hole, and put it in there like so, and it just makes it a whole lot easier to fill the feeder up. It's a little trick I came up with. Most of the things that, you know, that I show you, and I'm going to show you, you know, things that we've learned is, you know, from other people. But, you know, every now and then I come up with something on my own. So, you know, this is when we put, you know, I didn't have, you know, the best thing to put on the bottom, whatever you decide to put them in, is probably wood shavings, pine wood shavings. You know, you can get it at any farm store. But I just haven't had, you know, been busy, and I haven't had time to, I've got to make a run to the feed store soon, but I haven't had time. So I just put peanut hay leaves on the bottom, you know, just shake from out of the peanut hay, and it looks like it's going to work really well. But, you know, when I go to the feed store, I'll probably get a small bale of shavings, you know, and just, you know, make sure you keep the water in plenty of food for them, plenty of water, and some heat. And the thing I want to touch on about the heat is wherever you put your heat at, you want to make sure that they can, you know, get under the lamp and get warm. But you also want to provide them an area away, you know, that they can escape it. You know, you don't want the heat lamp just beam. You know, if you got them down in a tote or, you know, something small, you want to make sure that they can escape the, you know, the ultraviolet radiation from the lamp. You know, so they don't just stay in there and, you know, overheat. Of course, naturally you don't want that to happen. Your chicks will die. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope maybe you may have learned something from it. And thanks for joining us on SIMS Homestead. We'll see you later.